What is up, wrestling fans of YouTube? KayFabe Chronicles with your good old host, JP. Well, the year has come and the year is on its way out, so that only means one more pay-per-view. That's right. The wonderful brand split this year gave us way too many unnecessary pay-per-views. But you know what? We're going to go out with a bang. Why? Because it's Raw's Roadblock. I know I've been crapping on Raw all year long. I'm a huge SmackDown fan. Don't really give anything to Raw, so maybe this pay-per-view will change my views on that. So I'm going to run down all the matches as always, give you my quick little 2 cents, throw in some taint jokes, so let's get this ball rolling. Starting off, we got the pre-show match between Big Cass and Rusev. I find this a little weird that this one was in the pre-show, considering that this match actually had me really interested. The past couple weeks, the build-up leading to this, because with the Cass and Enzo not really doing a whole lot, Rusev kind of not doing a whole lot, it was interesting, seeing the build, with the whole, Enzo trying to get all freaky with Lana, therefore creating the feud. I think that they're probably going to continue this feud before going to this match, and of course after the match I'll explain why. But I just feel that this match would have been a lot more better on the main card rather than pre-show, because pre-show most people don't watch because we're usually not available at that time. Match itself was fairly decent. Both big guys, worked really well with each other in my opinion. The ending was overly predictable. Enzo's getting all up in Lana's grill. Lana does, hits Enzo. Rusev, beats on Enzo, so Big Cass goes to check on Enzo, and of course Big Cass gets counted out. Rusev wins the match. Pretty predictable there. Obviously, they are going to continue this feud. I do like where it's going. I do think that, since neither of these parties really have anything going, I do like that they are going to be kind of in the mainstream. Big fan of both of them, so I'm hoping that this leads into the new year. I think, maybe we can bring in some other big, crazy foreign guy to team with Rusev. Who knows? That's just my mind working. But all in all, good way to open up the show. Not going to go into major detail about that match because, it's pre-show. Who gives a rat's ass? Now we're going to start off with the tag team titles. What? The tag team championships between the new record-breaking New Day defending against Cesaro and Sheamus. Everyone already knew what the outcome of this match was going to be going into it. We've been saying it for months that, them pushing the New Day title reign, they're only going to, they're only doing this so they can beat Demolition's record. As soon as Demolition's record is over, they're going to lose the titles. Match starts, New Day comes out with their standard promo. By the way, I love the outfits. The Christmas outfits were great. The color scheme looked really good on them. The reindeer, I really like that. As usual, their promo, I like the New Day, but their promo shtick's kind of getting a little bit old. They can sing though. Damn, I was actually pretty impressed. Xavier Woods, you my boy. I want you to come to my place. We'll play some video games, do some karaoke. It'll be great. Yeah. Their promo was a typical New Day promo. Whoopity-doo. Cesaro's music hits. He comes out. And then immediately, he's about to tear off his clothes, and then Sheamus's music hits. And they did, this cool, flipping camera angle with, a tandem entrance, and it blew my mind. It actually really, really worked. I was really impressed with the fact that they combined their entrance. All from me. So, the combination of the music, the lighting, the sound cues, the way the camera moved, it looked really great. It made me believe that these two guys are actually in it to win it. Match itself, exactly, bell rings. Cesaro, boom, hits him with a drop kick, does the European uppercut, tries to get the quick fall. Cesaro's just a raging man beast. Everything that guy does is phenomenal. I'm glad that WWE is starting to utilize the talent that is Cesaro. Thank you guys. I'm assuming you watched my previous video in regards to that. But yeah, it was a very good high impact match. It was all Cesaro pretty much for the first little bit. Kicking ass, taking names, all that good stuff. There was a point where Big E, kind of got taken out of the match, so Kofi wasn't able to tag at all. It was your old standard tag team moments. Yeah, Xavier Woods, interferes. Big E hits the big ending. 1, 2. Oh my God, he kicked out! Holy crap! But yeah, New Day, yeah, like I said, consistently kept trying to, like get the cheap moves. Cesaro, big spot as usual, did the giant swing, gets him into the sharpshooter. Of course, the referee gets distracted, so he misses the tap out. He hit the neutralizer on Big E. Big E kicked out. Like, a lot of great stuff going on. End of the match was Cesaro and Sheamus actually pulled their own little trickery. Cesaro was, Sheamus was like reaching to tag Cesaro, and then he kind of dove, and just before he tagged Cesaro kind of moved his hand out of the way. So he didn't actually tag him. So I'm looking like, is that a botch? What's going on? So then, like, Cesaro runs into the ring because you assume, okay, he got tagged in. He gets hit with the Trouble in Paradise. Kofi pins him, but of course Cesaro's not the legal man. Sheamus is still the legal man. So then Sheamus jumps in and pins Kofi, and they win. Like, holy shit! It was cool to see, like the New Day lose from a little evil heel move kind of there. That was really, really cool. Part after the match, though, I really enjoyed. Cesaro and Sheamus are all standing in there celebrating. New Day's kind of in the corner with their tag team titles, just looking down at it, like, because they know, like, this is it. We've held these for over a year, so now we kind of got to say goodbye to these. And then they just, graciously handed the titles over to Cesaro, and they all start celebrating. It was a real heartfelt moment. They hug in the middle of the ring. And then Sheamus, of course, being a big dick, just grabs both belts and goes on the top rope to celebrate. And the audience is, booing, hissing, because, we don't like you, Sheamus. We like Cesaro. We love Cesaro. And, of course, Cesaro has both belts. He's celebrating. Sorry, Sheamus has both belts, and he's celebrating. This is how Cesaro went into the crowd and essentially celebrated with his fans. Because, you know what? That's the thing, is people like Cesaro, and they don't like Sheamus. Which is the way it should be. Cesaro is the face. Sheamus is the heel. I kind of like that they're pulling, like, the whole kind of Sting, Lex Luger back in old school WCW when they won the tag team titles. Sting, everyone cheered for Sting, everyone booed Lex Luger kind of thing. I don't know if that was intentional. They're trying to copy that, but I really think that that's the right angle to take. I really enjoyed seeing that. All in all, great match. It was, everyone knew that Sheamus and Cesaro were going to win. It wasn't a big surprise. But the way the match ended really caught everyone off guard. So I'm glad the WWE did that much at least. So, decent way to start the show off. It was a pretty high-impact tag match. Kudos to both teams. Kudos to New Day for holding on for as long as they did. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Sheamus and Cesaro do. I think it's an interesting pairing for a team. Now that I see it, back in the day when they first formed, I didn't get it. But now they're kind of growing on me like a delicious fungus. So yeah, decent match. Let's continue on with the rest of the show. Next on the card is the first of the time stipulation matches. That's right, one pay-per-view, 2 time stipulation matches. My mind does not know how to take that. But we got Sami Zayn taking on Braun Strowman. So yeah, the premise behind this match is that, the build-up to this match essentially, came way back, months ago, even before Survivor Series, where Braun was kind of, dominating all competition, and he's like, I need a challenge because I'm Braun Strowman and I got a big beard and patchy ass pants, and then Sami Zayn came out, and they kind of stared each other down, and then nothing really happened. It kind of fell flat up until after Survivor Series, and then they kind of reignited the feud again. So Braun Strowman beat up on Sami Zayn, completely demolished him, and that of course fueled the fire of Sami Zayn. So he pretty much wants revenge. So every week he's been demanding, I want a shot against Braun Strowman. I want a shot against Braun Strowman. And Mick Foley just kept denying him. He's like, he's going to kill you. No one should fight Braun Strowman, but yet I'm going to still have him fight all these other people. No, Sami Zayn, you can't fight Braun Strowman, but fuck Curtis Axel. I'm going to have him die to Braun Strowman. Poor Curtis Axel. You have so much potential, and just nobody gets it. But I do. Anyway, back to this. The previous week on Raw, before all this, Sami Zayn came out and just flat out told Mick Foley, I want Braun Strowman. And then that, of course, set up the entire fake trade storyline to fuel the fiery passion in Sami Zayn, which I think was great. I think it was a really good build-up to this match. I'm always a huge Sami Zayn fan, but I really haven't been feeling this feud. But that little bit of storytelling that they did last week actually made me invest a little bit more in this match. I was actually, I actually want to check this match. So yeah, like I said, the entire premise is Sami Zayn has to last 10 minutes against Braun Strowman. Pretty self-explanatory considering that Braun Strowman's been killing people in under 2 minutes. it's going to give us a little bit more. Granted, months ago, I wouldn't have been for this. I don't think Braun Strowman could have lasted 10 minutes personally, ring work wise. Like, just seeing him in the past, he was still pretty green. But over the past few months, I've been constantly saying it. He is really, really, really improving in the ring. I'm really enjoying watching Braun Strowman. His ring work is drastically improved. His mic work is getting a lot better. Like, he legitimately looks like a badass in the ring. Like he's throwing guys around, like it's not sloppy anymore. His high impact moves are really big. So I'm all for this match because, like I said, I'm a big Sami Zayn fan. So I think that him and Braun Strowman are going to work really well. And match starts, it's exactly how you feel it's going to be. Braun Strowman just completely dominates Sami Zayn for almost 9/10 of the match, I guess. There's even a point where he beats him down so badly, and he goes in to pin him. Like 1, 2, oh no, we're not going to do that. He picks him up, and you're, usual, I am evil, dominating kind of ways. Sami Zayn's getting every move essentially countered. Like he does his suicide dive off the top rope, like he always does. Braun Strowman catches him. Yeah. So yeah, Sami Zayn's pretty much down on the ground, selling it like nobody can. Sami's one of the best sellers in the entire, industry. I'd love to see just him and Dolph Ziggler in a match where they just sell the entire time, and I would completely watch just both of them flopping around on the ground. It'd be awesome. So yeah, Mick Foley comes out with a white towel, obviously an homage back to the old Bob Backlund, Arnold Skaaland storyline way back in the early 80s when Bob Backlund lost his title when, his manager threw in the white towel. And he's like, Sammy, I'm going to throw in the towel. And Sammy's like, no, not like this, Mick. I cannot be defeated like this. And then Sammy takes the towel and throws it into the crowd. Match continues. But for some reason now, like, Sami Zayn got, like, this little burst of energy, and he starts hitting Braun with all he got. Like, he hits him with a couple good, punches, a couple good kicks. Braun Strowman, runs at him. Sammy dives out of the way. Braun goes headfirst into the ring. Braun goes through the barricade, makes it in before the 10 count. And then, Sammy hits him with the haluva kick, and he doesn't go down, obviously. And he lines up to hit him again, but of course, 10 minutes expires, match is over. Technically, since Sammy didn't lose within the 10 minutes, Sammy wins due to his stipulation. Now, a lot of people, I was a little angry at first as I throw my pen. I was a little angry first at this because I was like, there wasn't really a clear outcome, but I see what they were doing. This actually made both competitors look really, really, really strong. It made Sammy look strong because, he technically beat Braun Strowman due to the time count, but Braun Strowman still looks incredibly strong because Braun didn't lose by pinfall or submission or anything. So technically Braun still is, undefeated in the ring in regards to that. So kudos to WWE for writing it that way. I was really worried that, if Sammy was to lose by pinfall, he would look weak, and if Braun was to lose by pinfall, it would crush all of his momentum. So personally, I didn't actually see that outcome. So now when I actually think about it, it is beneficial to the both of them. So great job, WWE, on making two up-and-comers look really, really great. Kudos to that. So, so far for a Raw pay-per-view, it's not doing too bad. I'm actually delightfully surprised so far, which is huge for me because I went into this just thinking I'm going to just give myself a Tylenol cocktail and doze off for most of this. So, yeah. Kudos WWE, you guys are really, really doing good. For now. Coming up next on the card is the match that we've seen a million times, and of course the match that has no ultimate payoff or rewards. Chris Jericho taking on Seth Rollins. Yeah. Really nothing about this match makes me really interested, and that hurts because I love Jericho and I love Rollins. Yeah, just like I said, this match, they fought before in the past. There was some build, some, post-match reward. But for this one, there's really, nothing to gain. If Rollins wins, whoopity-doo. If Jericho wins, whoopity-doo. It doesn't really advance anything. I just have a feeling that, it's two main guys on the card that had nothing else to really going on for them. So they're like, well, we got to have them on the card somehow. Overall the match was just as you expected. Both, really good technical guys, fighting a lot of counters. Nothing really to make me lose my shiz over. A couple of great points of the match was that Seth Rollins tried to hit Jericho in the pedigree numerous times, and Jericho kept finding a way to counter it. Um, really good sequence I like was near the end where he tried to get him in the pedigree, and he flips him into like a hurricanrana, and that gets countered, and then they countered that, and it ended up leading into a Walls of Jericho. The second Walls of Jericho of the match, if you guys want to know the exact spot, that was probably the highlight of the match for me. In the end, Seth Rollins finally gets Chris Jericho in it. Counts 1, 2, 3, match is over. There's not really a lot I can really say about this one. Like I said, it wasn't really an interesting match going into it. It was a decent match to watch, but like I said, just the fact that there was no major reward at the end, like WWE moves on as normal, it doesn't really advance any storylines. So yeah, go Rollins. Coming up next on the match is the Women's Championship. Wait, what? The Cruiserweight? There's a Cruiserweight match? How the hell did I forget that? Okay, I guess there's a Cruiserweight match for the championship between T.J. Perkins, Brian Kendrick, and Rich Swann. You see what I did there? WWE, you have killed the Cruiserweight division so much that me, an ultimate fan of Cruiserweight Wrestling, completely forgot that this match was even on the card, and therefore I did not give any rat's ass going into it. Like, the CWC was absolutely phenomenal, and that is where it has stopped. The entire division has been lackluster, no wonderful things to cheer about, no great builds or anything. Then you bring in a wonderful show of 205, and I use the term wonderful lightly, because that's been a complete snooze fest to watch. This entire match, I really did not care what was going on. Like I said, I actually felt like getting up and walking away, because to me, this is a piss match. The three guys did okay, I guess. The audience really didn't care. None of them got any cheers going down. Match was pretty boring for most of it. Rich Swann, gets the win. He kicks Perkins a couple times in the head, gets the 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden, the audience kind of stops, and then fireworks go off, and I'm like, okay, shit, what's going on? Something's gonna happen. Like the ring's gonna, the purple rope's finally gonna come to life or something. But no, Neville. Holy crap, freaking Neville is here. He comes down the ramp. I'm like, finally, Neville's going to be entering the Cruiserweight division, and everyone assumes he's going to shake Rich Swann's hands because they're longtime friends, and he kicks him right in the face and the stomach. Why? Because Neville's now a badass motherfucker. Badass Neville. Thank you, WWE, for doing another thing I said on one of my previous videos. Neville should be in the Cruiserweight division, and now he is, and it was absolutely a breath of fresh air seeing Neville come down, beat the shit out of everybody. Why? Because Neville is the rightful Cruiserweight champion. He should have been since day one. He should have been in the tournament. He should have won it. Oh, it's so good. And I love it because Neville's trying to be a heel, by beating up all the faces, but yet the audience was cheering, thank you, Neville. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. I know they're going to be pushing Neville as a bad guy, but I don't really think the crowd is going to go for it. I've been reading a couple other guys' thoughts, and I'm feeling the same way, is Neville's entire moveset is based on, crowd pops and reactions. Every time he does anything, the audience loses their mind. So, if you're going to have him as a heel, he's going to have to completely redo his moveset because, him as a heel is going to completely follow Bobby Roode syndrome. I'm not going to do the song. I'm sorry, guys. Glorious! Next is... Alright, okay, good. The women's match. Okay, we're back on track. So, yeah, the women's Iron Woman match between defending champion Sasha Banks taking on Charlotte. What can I say that hasn't been said already? These two ladies have been fighting pretty much for most of the year. I've expressed before that I'm kind of tired of the whole hot potato title. Sasha wins, then she loses it her first title defense, and then Charlotte loses it her next title defense, and they've just been kind of passing the title back and forth. So I do kind of like that they brought in this is the last time they will ever fight stipulation kind of thing. It's good. They're going to fight again. That 3 months from now they're going to have nothing else to fall back on, so they'll be like, oh, there's some loophole in the contract or some stupid crap like that. But yeah, anyway, going into the match, as usual, great video package prior to the match. Like I said, full kudos to the WWE production team. Their video vignettes lately have just been absolutely solid. They suck you in to make you completely for the entire match. Awesome video package, as always. Um, Iron Woman match, called it before it even started. I bet you same thing's gonna happen as always. Oh, one person's gonna be winning until like 3 seconds before the match ends, and then they're gonna get the last fall, and it's tied and Sunday. Yeah, of course it's gonna be that. Give me one Iron Man match that hasn't ended in the last 3 seconds. Here's a crazy idea, WWE. How about we completely interrupt the entire space-time continuum and have an Iron Man match where it's a complete blowout? We're like half an hour in, one person's up like 23-0, just to see what will happen. But overall, great match. I enjoy everything these two women do. Every time they're in the ring together, just pure magic happens. Granted, the first 15 minutes of this match were slow and boring as hell, though. No falls. Nothing really happened until, Charlotte was kind of like lying down, and Sasha was standing on the apron, and then Charlotte kicked Sasha's leg, and she fell and smashed her face onto the stairs, and then pretty much just went on a huge major offense. Every time she'd hit Sasha with a move, 1, 2, oh, Sasha kicks out, 1, 2, oh, Sasha kicks out. So that made Sasha look really tough. Of course, Charlotte got the very first pinfall, hitting her with a natural selection off the top rope. Then they kind of battled a little bit. Sasha tied it up a little bit after that. And then the one thing that was kind of really shocking for me is that Sasha got the next pinfall after that, actually, which is really weird because usually, traditionally, with these kind of things, it's always the heel gets it, then the face, then the heel, and then the face gets that last second pinfall. So it was kind of weird. So Charlotte's, of course, winning 2-0, going into the last minute. She gets Sasha Banks into the figure 4, and she's just laying there in the middle of the ring. More than enough time to bridge it to the figure 8, but no, we got to mess with you, crowd. We got to make you think. To be completely honest, I just have a feeling that she got her into the figure 4 way too early, because that Sasha's not going to tap out until she bridges. So she puts her in the figure 4. She's like, okay, I'm going to bridge. Oh, shit, there's still a minute left. Okay, well, let's just lie here in the ring until there's about 5 seconds left, and then I'll put you in the figure 8 so you can tap out. And sure enough, she finally braces it into the figure 8 with a few seconds left, so Sasha Banks taps out with 2 seconds left on the clock. Oh my god, what are the odds of that happening? But like I said, it was a little weird because usually it's the other way around. Usually, the face gets the final thing. So it was kind of odd seeing the reversal there. So sure enough, they go into sudden death overtime. Yay, recycled storytelling. And Charlotte got her again. Sasha got Charlotte into the bank statement, and then Sasha was able to counter and get her to the figure 4. And for some reason, Sasha, I don't know how or when she did, but she busted her face open pretty bad. As she was lying there screaming in pain, you could see her entire face was just covered in blood. I've never seen women bleed like that in wrestling before. It wasn't like Ric Flair, or it wasn't like Stone Cold Steve Austin style, but it was still kind of shocking because, with the PG era, you can't have blood, but unfortunately, such a key match like this, the camera kind of has to stay on that. So, Sasha Banks taps out in overtime. Charlotte gets the belt back. Decent match. One of the better matches of the night. Who knows where the storyline's going to go. In my opinion, I'm just going to throw the same thing I always do out there. Combine the women's divisions, because having two separate ones makes no sense. Because the only other person who can possibly fit in the title picture is Bayley right now, which I guarantee is probably going to happen on Raw. So yeah. Decent match. Good to see them. Every match they put on is great stuff. So, on to the next one. And for those of you counting down on your fingers, as always, one more match to go. The Universal Championship match between champion Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. You know what? I know I hate on Roman Reigns. Look, really, Raw has nothing else going at the moment. Kevin Owens, great stuff as always. Unfortunately, like I said, we can only see Kevin Owens fight Seth Rollins so many times. There's really no one else in the main title picture. So Roman Reigns, of course, makes the most sense storyline-wise, I guess. Match starts. Roman Reigns comes out to thunderous applause. One day someone will cheer for your Reigns. One day. Like I said, the match wasn't really a lot going on. For what it was fairly decent. Reigns, I said, has gotten a little bit better. There wasn't really any huge spots in this match for me. I was watching it kind of, taking notes. I didn't really have any huge things that I wrote down. Just mostly just the fact that Roman Reigns got no reaction whatsoever. And everyone was pretty much assuming like, who's gonna come down, who's gonna interfere. Is it gonna be, is Triple H gonna come out? When's Chris Jericho gonna come out? So eventually Jericho does come out. Kind of a weird twist though. He actually beats up Kevin Owens, resulting in Kevin Owens getting disqualified. But then at the end, of course, he like hugs Kevin Owens. It's like, oh, everyone thought he turned on him, but nope. No, he did it on purpose so that Kevin Owens would technically still retain the title, because Jericho knows that if he laid his hands on Roman Reigns, he'd probably get the crap kicked out of him. Overall, it wasn't too, great. After the match, Seth Rollins came out and teamed up with Roman Reigns. They're reforming the Shield, and they beat up Jericho, and they beat up Kevin Owens. Did a little powerbomb through the table crap. It's going to advance the feud, obviously, because, I bet you their next match is probably going to be like, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, or Chris Jericho's banned from ringside, or some crazy crap like that. Probably the shark cage, heaven forbid. Yeah, so, all in all, was it a great pay-per-view? It started off pretty strong. It kind of dwindled near the end. Compared to Raw's other pay-per-views of the year, it was pretty decent. But if I'm to compare it to SmackDown, unfortunately, I gotta go with SmackDown again for this month. I think they just had the far better pay-per-view. I thought TLC was consistent. All the matches were great. Like Miz versus Dolphin, the ladder match was awesome. AJ versus Dean was another awesome match. Like, just once again, SmackDown proves that you don't need 3 hours of screen time to put out a quality show. So, gotta go with them. So yeah, of course, this wraps up the wonderful 2016 year. It's been a definite weird year in regards to wrestling, mostly with the brand split and therefore the creation of all these new shows. If I have a major beef I have to spread out there, I think that they shouldn't do 2 shows a month. I think that they should just go back to the old formula, have your main show, then your next month Raw has their show, and then their next month SmackDown has their show, because then this gives the shows more time to build up progressive storyline. Because unfortunately, since they're doing pretty much a new pay-per-view every couple weeks, I don't think that's giving the audience enough time to buy into any of these storylines. It's not giving them enough time to develop any storytelling at all. Like, we're just kind of like, pay-per-view, and next week here's another pay-per-view, and next week another pay-per-view, and everybody gets a pay-per-view. What can I say? So yeah. If you guys like the video, as always, crush that like button. Please subscribe to the station for more great videos, not just wrestling, all kinds of great stuff on there. Follow us on Twitter using the 2 name tags below. And the next video coming out will be my top 5. That's right, going back to the top 5 format for my favorite matches of the year. I've been compiling them in a notebook all year long, so I've been going over that, thinking of all the great matches, all the things that made me just jump out of my seat. So hopefully I'll get that to you guys in the next couple weeks. So yeah. As always, this is JP from KayFabe Chronicles, and I will see you guys next time. Much love, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the new year.